so much.
Thank you. Mark Mwenje. Give him the mic. Give him the mic. There you are.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. First of all, let me congratulate the team, the Budget Committee for this, for their work, this ambitious BPS. Honorable Speaker, one of the things that I've noted is that for the first time, I think our government has accepted that borrowing is not necessarily a bad thing, as long as the funds are put in the right place and used effectively, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, the language that is used in the BPS is encouraging, it is promising, such as that I've seen in agriculture. Honorable Speaker, we've seen the details that have gone into this BPS, where they're talking about coffee, and I believe about 2 billion being put into coffee. There's money going into sugar to help the farmers, fertilizers. But Honorable Speaker, I trust that the Committee of Agriculture will ensure that there is more being done by the funds that will be allocated to them. Honorable Speaker, it's encouraging also the language used in regards to SMEs. But Honorable Speaker, we've only seen them speaking as much so far as the Hustler Fund, Honorable Speaker. I'd want to encourage those in charge. There's a fund called Uwezo Fund, Honorable Speaker, and it makes a difference. Building of markets is a good thing, Honorable Speaker, but I have seen markets in Central, I believe in Olkalau, but even here in Nairobi, Honorable Speaker, where we have markets built, but we don't have traders in there. The issue is because we're not putting money to these SMEs. It is not enough. That is where we need to put our money to ensure that these SMEs are able to put up their businesses. Honorable Speaker, I want to thank the Chair for his passionate delivery on the issue of REREC. But Honorable Speaker, as a member from the Nairobi County, I want to inform him, and I'm hoping the Chair of Budget is listening to me. As Nairobi, we don't get our fair share of REREC. And let's be honest, Honorable Speaker, one transformer up country serves 20 people. One transformer in Nairobi will serve 10,000 people. So it is only fair that we get our share because we pay more as Nairobi. So we are not taking money from anybody else. We want our fair share as REREC as it has been delivered, and this year as Nairobi MPs, and there are 17 of us, we will make sure we get our share fair. I know that is touching on the nerve. Most of our money gets taken away from our Speaker, but this time, Nairobi, we must get our fair share, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, on the issue of NGCDF, I just want to thank the Chair for his increase. We all know what NGCDF does out there, but also would request the Chair of NGCDF who is seated here, the Honorable Musa Silma, to make sure there's an equitable way of sharing these funds. Some of us have an issue, we have 4 wards, but the population in my constituency, Honorable Speaker, is the 15th largest in the entire country, Honorable Speaker. So we need a system that is fair to distribute these funds that we've been given, Honorable Speaker. The issue of care as well, I'd want to tell the Chair of Budget, in Nairobi our carer roads must be built with tarmac. It means our funds we require, and in Nairobi we contribute the highest. The GDP in Nairobi is 60%. So it's only fair that we get something additional because our money goes towards building tarmac roads, which you use yourselves, members of parliament, when you come to Nairobi. As a final, Honorable Speaker, the BPS is ambitious. We need some innovative ways of making sure the revenue collection that is collected does not hurt Kenyans. So it is possible. We don't have to increase taxes. There is a way we can fund this BPS and ensure it is achieved. But on the downside, in the event that we are unable to fund this BPS, please do not take away money in the supplementary budget from Parliament. Don't take it away from the development. Please take it away from the executive or somewhere else. Let us make sure Parliament does not lose its money as we saw in the supplementary bill earlier sometime last year. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Rindikiri.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I'd like to support the BPS statement as issued by our chairman. Mr. Speaker, for the first time, I have seen a budget that is programmed in such a way that it matches the manifesto of the ruling government. The Kenya Kwanza government, Mr. Speaker, with a better program, went to the people and told the people that they will come up with a budget that is very responsible to the citizens. Mr. Speaker, I note with a lot of appreciation the concern the budget has taken on the housing sector. Mr. Speaker, as we said, housing is one of the key pillars of the Kenya Kwanza government. Mr. Speaker, housing will come with employment. It will come with good shelter. It will come with training and technology development. Mr. Speaker, the 64 billion shilling that has been put by the budget through the BPS statement as A&A will go about to enhance that program. Mr. Speaker, I noticed that health is one of the areas that the BPS statement has put emphasis on. Mr. Speaker, the Universal Health Care Program, which is a better plan for the Kenya Kwanza government. For the first time, we have seen a budget that is tailor-made to benefit the health care standards of this country. Mr. Speaker, we have the food security and we have manufacturing. Mr. Speaker, I would like to congratulate the chairman for finding it very necessary for the first time. He aligns what the government believes in, he aligns what the Kenyans expect, he aligns what we members of parliament have been saying throughout. Mr. Speaker, every constituency is going to benefit this time around. Mr. Speaker, in the past, we have been seeing a lot of discrimination against certain constituencies. Mr. Speaker, in as much as we are also saying that each constituency will benefit, let's be careful, noting that there are some constituencies which are not 100% connected. I will differ with my friend in Nairobi that many constituencies in the rural areas don't serve 20 people. That's an insult to the rural constituencies. Mr. Speaker, even if it's 20 people, let them be given electricity like any other Kenyan. Mr. Speaker, the increment in the budget on electricity is going to bring even, we are not talking about equal, we are talking about equality and equity. That's what we are speaking about here, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, for the first time we have seen development money being put in the budget and a reduction in the recurrent expenditure. And I want to thank the chairman for finding it necessary that we curtail water usage of money through recurrent expenditures and is siphoning that money into the development expenditure. Mr. Speaker, I really would like to appreciate that. I wish the chairman is listening to this. There is one concept which has not been given a lot of emphasis, and that is ICT technology. Mr. Speaker, the ICT technology will cut across all sectors of this country. It will cut across health sector, it will cut agriculture, it will cut education, it will cut employment, all sectors of this economy. Mr. Speaker, the budget should be geared to improvement of technology, and I ask when it comes to the actual budget making, we put more money in the ICT technology so that we can benefit as a country. Mr. Speaker, this country has now grown to know where to get the money from and how to spend it. Mr. Speaker, I congratulate the committee and say this is the direction to go. The Kenya Kwanza government is focused. Despite all the criticisms, the Kenyan government is going to deliver to the Kenyan society. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker.
Irene Mayaka.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. And Honorable Speaker, I want to take this opportunity to support the BPS document that has been presented to us by the chair of the Budget Committee. And Honorable Speaker, I'd really like to applaud the chair, especially taking into consideration the rural electrification for the 290 constituencies. But I also have a couple of reservations, Honorable Speaker, that I think the committee needs to take cognizance of. Honorable Speaker, to start with, and the Honorable member who just spoke before me alluded to this, that the ICT departmental states have not been properly funded. Honorable Speaker, the digital superhighway is as important as the roads infrastructure in this country. And if you are not putting enough funding into that particular space, then we are not taking into consideration the fact that as a country, we are currently in the 4th industrial revolution. Other countries are in the 5th industrial revolution. And if we don't take cognizance and ensure that we are at the same pace with other countries, then, Honorable Speaker, we will suffer. Honorable Speaker, when you look at the social protection space and the fact that the fight on GBV in this country is highly funded by donor funds. Honorable Speaker, this should be something that we worry about as a country, because if we are not protecting our women, our children adequately in terms of putting enough funding into that space and only depending on donors, then, Honorable Speaker, we don't have our priorities in the right space. Honorable Speaker, when it comes to the gender department, and in particular the fact that there is still very poor coordination between the distribution of pads from the gender department to the 47 counties, Honorable Speaker, this is an area of a lot of concern. Honorable Speaker, the other one is in the space of labor, and when we notice that currently we don't have enough funding to the public service internship program. Honorable Speaker, we are a country that is blessed to have 78% of our population being youthful in nature. And if you are not putting enough money to ensure that our young people are properly prepared for the job market, then we are not doing any service to the population of this country. Honorable Speaker, in the sports department, we are about to host the CHAN in 2024. We are about to host the AFCON in 2027. The other day, I saw the President doing groundbreaking for a stadium that is meant to host the 2027. But I take particular concern when I note that the committee has indicated to us that they are yet to receive any comprehensive resource requirement from this particular state department. Because, Honorable Speaker, then what are we putting in terms of priority? Honorable Speaker, the other matter that really concerns me is that as at the 23rd of February, we have had 800,000 Kenyans who applied for passports, who paid fees of up to 2 billion, and yet we are told that the reason why they've not been able to receive their passports is because there's lack of booklets. Honorable Speaker, I'm wondering, this particular state department, if they are raising so much revenue from people applying for passports, why does it have to be a delay for them to receive the same passports, especially if they're raising so much money? Honorable Speaker, that does not make sense at all. Honorable Speaker, I also just want to raise a concern on the timelines that have been indicated in terms of each state department and the timelines they've been given of when they should be able to balance out the requirements that they've given, which is by June of this month. Honorable Speaker, I'll be very concerned at that particular time to see if this has actually happened. Honorable Speaker, as I finish, I also just want to raise another concern that I feel like all our state departments are acting like cost centers. We are not getting a sense of how state departments are being innovative in terms of raising on-source revenue as a country. If you are being so dependent on depending on the budget allocations that are being given, our state departments are increasingly becoming cost centers, then what are we doing as a country? What are the sources of on-source revenue that we want to look at? And finally, as I finish, I just want to also applaud the fact that an additional budget has been put for our drivers and our bodyguards, Honorable Speaker, because this usually comes back as an expense to us. And Honorable Speaker, just to tell the chair, as a future women rep, tafadhali in future, please ensure that you're not speaking about...
Your time is up, Murugara.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, allow me to rise and support the budget policy statement, which has been ably presented by the chairperson